Two men, two microphones, one movie, a couple of beers, and some wildly outlandish critiques about the movies you may or may not love. The following review will have massive spoilers and possibly offensive commentary. This content may not be suitable for little bitches. Brought to you by Goat Straw Entertainment and some liquid courage.
Hey, welcome back, movie lovers, to another episode of Not Your Everyday Critics. I'm your host, George Lugo.
And I'm your other host, Manny Rivera.
And if you haven't seen the show before, what we do is rate, review, and critique movies of all genres and subcategories.
These movies are our point of view. We're just a couple of guys that enjoy movies so much that we just, decided to do this for everybody and give them our own opinions. And with over 500,000 movies, right? 500,000?
500,000 movies in all of existence.
Yeah, we got a lot of movies to go through. So
we have a ton to go through. And today we are going to be critiquing the 1986 classic action drama Top Gun.
Top Gun, which is actually one of my favorite movies.
I've actually never seen this movie until recently.
Really?
Shut the fuck up, really?
Never.
Wow.
I knew everything that actually happened in the movie, so none of it was actually shocking.
Man.
Yeah.
Because it's a part of pop culture. It's kind of like The Shining. I didn't watch The Shining until like 5 years ago, but I knew about it growing up because it's so ingrained in the pop culture.
This movie made a stamp on everything.
It did. And you know what's fucking the crazy part though is this movie wasn't actually projected to do well.
No, it wasn't. As a matter of fact, there was a lot of critics that did not like this movie, but beyond that, the people that actually came to see the movie, they enjoyed it so damn much. Some of the critics actually had to change their opinions to see the difference in what it was that that movie was coming with from the people's point of view, and it actually did pretty well.
We'll jump a little bit more into that. So I say right now we're going to jump into the plot summary.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. As students at the United States Navy's elite fighter weapons school compete to be best in the class, one daring young pilot learns a few things from a civilian instructor that are not taught in the classroom.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Especially when you're trying to be a badass fucking pilot.
Well, to be honest, I've known one person that went to
Top
the
Gun?
Navy, not Top Gun necessarily, but went to go fly, and even like in his introductory classes, the amount of like requirements and all this stuff is like it's insane.
Oh yeah, no,
they
it's
have
crazy.
to like you literally need to be dedicated to get into this kind of thing.
Yeah, no,
and then
it's
also
nuts.
like to get into Top Gun, like they are literally like the 1% of all the pilots in the whole like nation.
Like you got to be, It's crazy how
You got to be the
really
Top Gun
Best of the best of the best.
sir.
with honors.
With honors.
But yeah, you have to be like super smart, very dedicated into what it is.
Well, yeah, because the pilots need to know everything about they need to know every single nut and bolt on their plane. They need to know exactly what every function does, what can go wrong, and how to fix it. So I mean, like, they have to be very intelligent, and not only on top of that, like they need to be very physically athletic because the amount of G's that they actually have to deal with on a daily basis will fuck you up if you're not in shape. Like I know I was listening to some interviews and Tom Cruise was talking about they get up to like 9 G's.
Woo.
And so like a G is like it's like an extra amount of your body weight. So like 1 G is your body weight, 2 is like twice your body weight, 3 is 3, 4, and then so on and so forth. And they would get up to like 9 G, so it's like 9 times your body weight. Wow, and just imagine that amount of like pressure being put on your body,
And that's why they do that freaking simulation where they put you in the chair and they fucking spin you around.
Yeah, that's definitely more
when you go into
for
space.
astronauts. And actually, a lot of the interviews that I was listening to that people that did that G-force exercise only went up to about 5 Gs.
Wow, that's crazy.
Dude, my phone goes up to 5 Gs, bro.
All right, so and, let's start this thing up. We're gonna jump into the cast. All right, so Tom Cruise is Pete Mitchell, Maverick. Kelly Mcgillis is Charlie. Val Kilmer is the fucking Iceman.
Yeah.
Ice. Anthony Edwards is Goose. Tom Skerritt is Viper. Fucking Tom Skerritt was so great in this movie.
He's great, dude.
Yeah. Michael Ironside is Jester. I love Michael Ironside, and I kind of liked it. Like in this movie, he wasn't like an antagonist. You know, he was a good guy. So I love that because I feel like they typecast him as a villain. You know, it's kind of a bummer.
Most of the times I feel like they do, yeah.
John Stockwell is Cougar. Barry Tubb is Wolfman. Rick Rossovich is Slider. Tim Robbins was Merlin. You know, to be honest, this was so long ago, I didn't even realize that was Tim Robbins.
Holy shit, that's right.
Yeah, it was Tim Robbins.
Goddamn.
I love Tim Robbins. He's fantastic. Clarence Gilliard Jr. is Sundown. Whip Hubley's Hollywood. James Tolkien is Stinger. Slacker. Meg Ryan is Carol. Adrian Pasdar is Chipper. Randall Brady is Lieutenant Davis. Duke Stroud is Air Boss Johnson. Brian Sheehan is Sprawl. We have a lot to go through here. Ron Clark is the Inquiry Commander. And let's do a few more here. Frank Pesci? I'm going to go Pesci. No. Pesk.
Two C's or one?
Pesk.
I'm sure it's Pez.
Is it
It's
two C's?
Pesce. Pesk.
P.S.?
Pesce.
Unless it's Pesh.
Pesh?
Look, whatever, man. Fix your name.
Whatever. He's the fucking bartender. We shouldn't even spend so much time on that.
Yeah.
Pete Pettigrew is Perry Sedento. And then Troy Hunter is the radio operator. And I believe the rest we can just give our nod to.
Yes.
Hold on, boys. Hold on. Let's get the nod.
What? Oh, hey. And of course, as always, everybody, David Raby.
Hey, Mr. One David Raby. Thank you very much.
That is definitely pretty. Pretty.
Holy shit.
That looks awesome. David, what we got going on here?
So today's drink is called the Aviation. Let me get seated. Hold on.
This is actually way better than I thought it was going to look like.
Yeah, it's like a purple.
This is fucking cool.
Get this bad boy down here. Okay, there we are.
That's fucking beautiful.
Whatever, is it good enough? I got to do two things at once. So yeah, it's called the Aviation. So
Aviation.
Okay.
this was actually invented like around the time aviation was invented. So that's why they call it.
Oh, it's that old.
Yeah, it's fucking old.
Wow, that's crazy.
Okay.
What goes into the Aviation?
Gin, lemon juice, creme de violette, which is a rather rare ingredient. Like there's only I think 2 or 3 other cocktails that use that ingredient.
It's not used often for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let me try this one out because I accidentally shook it up. I wanted to stir it and I totally forgot. So there's going to be a taste difference for sure when you shake things and stir it.
Yeah, because of the aeration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm gonna just
We'll let you go first.
It smells pretty good. It's really good. Holy shit. Wow.
Oh, hey.
That's really
All right,
good.
hold on. We're going to cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
That gin is actually really smooth. That's so weird.
It's like powerful, but also smooth and a little fruity.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm not a big gin fan, but that is actually tasty.
I really don't
It's
like
nice.
gin either. Yeah.
Because it's like very refreshing. Yeah, I don't like gin.
Yeah, I'm not a
Yeah.
big gin
So-
fan, but that is very tasty.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. As far as the cast go, I love the cast in this movie.
Oh yeah,
Cast
it has
is
a
super
great
amazing.
all-star cast.
I like Val Kilmer a lot. That dude is freaking. I mean, you got Meg Ryan, Tom Cruise. Like you got a whole fucking bunch of people in this. You know what I mean? It's always been one of my favorite films. I used to watch this all the time with my aunt and my cousins, and it was such a great freaking movie for me.
Yeah. It was actually cool to see Meg Ryan in there. I was like, oh yeah, cool. Like old school Meg Ryan.
But sorry, my ball dropped.
We got some weird ghost shit happening over there.
What was that?
And
Is that where it came?
so
Oh, well.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with the cast. You guys,
Just leave it on the pool table, dude.
you guys enjoy the cast?
I really enjoyed the cast. I had no objections. The one thing that was a little bit of an issue, and it's not even cast related, was just the issue between height difference between Kelly McGillis and Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise is just short.
Because he's short.
Yeah, he is short.
He's
Actually,
really
some of the
short.
scenes he had to be on like a phone book or
Stilts.
some shit.
And also Kelly McGillis had to like kind of slouch,
And lean.
not wear like heels.
It's funny because
she's almost
slouch in the fucking cockpit.
she's almost 6 foot.
Yeah,
she's like
almost 6
she's like
feet,
5'11"
and
or
he's
something.
Like 5'7" or something like that.
He's like 5'6" or 5'7". Yeah, he's
Yeah.
tiny.
So they had to kind of like
Tiny Tom Cruise.
Tiny Tom Cruise.
tiny Tom Cruise. But yeah, cast. I love the cast. Cast was great.
It's definitely a film where like the cast was just perfect. Like I don't think anybody else could have filled that role or any of the roles really in that film.
I think if they filled the roles differently, it wouldn't be as great.
I don't
These
think so.
people actually made the movie fucking good.
Yeah, I think so. So I think we can
Let's go
move
on
on
to
to
the next
the
category.
intro.
0630 hours. The Indian Sea. Where's their location at?
I don't remember the exact. I think they're in the Indian Sea, the Indian
Like
Ocean,
they're,
right?
they're in some fucking ocean.
Yeah, they're in the Indian Ocean, and we got an opening shot of the ocean, the airliner, and then I believe it was dusk. It's either dusk or sunrise.
All I know is that Kenny Loggins' badass song.
It was sunrise.
Sunrise makes sense. Makes sense. Just doing exercises and
Revving
stuff.
up the engine,
Yeah.
listen to it howl and blow.
Yeah, and this is where we get the classic.
Yes,
This is where we
sir.
get the classic "Highway to the Danger Zone."
It's a fucking
which is
great song, dude.
which is a song they made specifically for this movie.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into that
But,
later because
Yeah.
yeah.
So it opens up, and some of my favorite like camera works in this opening sequence. So we got a nice pan over top view shot of the aircraft carrier. Then we got some shots on the aircraft carrier with people like waving. They're waving down, trying to line up the aircraft to for launch. And we get all the guys, and they go up in two pairs, right? We got a wingman, and we got the pilot, or not the wingman.
Pilot and co-pilot?
No. We're talking about the wingman and the lead. There's always two planes.
Oh, okay.
Two planes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're talking about the co-pilot, the Rio.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
navigation or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. They, for some reason I didn't understand what it stood for, but they said Rio. They called them Rio. I don't know if either guys caught that.
Yeah.
Okay. I would hope so. You've seen this movie a lot.
Yeah.
So we got a bunch of like badass little flights here, right? So they're really highlighting the fact, that this is like an aviation movie, and it's like highway to the danger zone. It's like,
Fucking
is
subliminal
so
messaging.
bad.
it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense, and I believe that they encounter some. I believe they were called MiG-28s.
I believe
The aircraft. It's not a real
Russians
aircraft.
again.
Oh yeah.
So the aircraft they encounter is not a real legitimate. The name isn't real. The MiG-28 is not a real name, but I think that's what they called them in the movie. And so they're no one's engaging. They asked if they can engage, and they're I believe the captain of the ship's like, do not engage unless fired upon. So the only time they can do shit is if they fire them first.
Yeah.
And those smaller, the MiG-28s are way more agile than the rest or just
Was it the Tomcats, F-16?
F-14s, I think.
F-14s.
Yeah, the F-14s. And so Maverick he's flying around these M28s, and he does this move where
Inverted.
the guy's behind him, and he fucking brakes, and the MiG goes in front of him, and he fucking tails him. It's so fucking intense.
Oh yeah.
Like the amount of precision you would need to do that move, and also the balls to do that, because you could literally kill you and them right at the same time. If you brake and they don't react in time, they fucking go right into you. So it's pretty intense. And then like obviously
He's like, brake check.
yeah, he gets behind them, and they're not shooting. He's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna get up closer, and we'll have some some relations." So they flip. He flips over and flies upside down above the other one. He flips them off.
Such a badass.
And Goose
scene.
takes a
He
photo.
flips them
Such a
off, and then
badass
Goose takes a
scene.
picture of it.
Didn't the other guy get a lock on his plane? Is that what spooked him?
The other guy, I believe he had a lock on. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And he just got so spooked. Like,
He got
"Bitch,"
spooked.
turned in his wings.
Turned in his wings. He
bad
got
idea
he
to
got
be
so
locked
he got so spooked that when they went in for the landing,
All sweating and shit.
he
Gross.
didn't go in for the landing. Kind of fucking.
Yeah, he didn't overshoot it, right? He ended
No,
up
he
getting
didn't
on the
even.
last
He
hook.
didn't even try.
Yeah, he didn't even try.
He was so nervous about it that he didn't even.
go down
I
and
think
try.
he maybe did he touch it a little bit or whatever, but he just fucking kept going.
Yeah, he kept
and
going.
They kept telling him, "Fucking turn around, what's going on?" This and that.
Because they're all running low on fuel here
they're all
at this
running low
point.
on fuel.
That's why Maverick had to like just walk him through it. He's like, "Come on, man, it's a walk in the park." He's like, "I'm right with you," and like kind of lowering the plane, lowering
Yeah.
the speed.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Fucking Maverick.
So Maverick walks him through it. He lands him, and then Maverick's all like, he's like requesting permission for a flyby.
His permission denied.
They're like denied, and he's like, I'm gonna do it anyway. Good stuff.
yeah.
So that's our opening sequence. It's a lot of action, very America. I love it.
Yep.
You know.
Suspenseful. It's fucking great, dude. It's such a awesome.
Yep. Suspense, action, all that shit, all rolled into
So,
one.
Man,
So America.
intrigue.
Yeah. Very, very American.
So let's go on to direction, which the director was Tony Scott.
Tony Scott.
Late great Tony Scott.
The
R.I.P.
late great Tony Scott.
Cheers to him.
Scott. Oh man.
Cheers to Tony Scott.
Cheers, Tony
Oh,
Scott.
cheers to Tony Scott.
Cheers, Tony Scott.
Tony Scott.
Yeah, because he's no longer with us. He's
Yeah, he's no longer with us.
yeah.
Okay.
This guy, Tony Scott,
the brother of Ridley Scott.
English film director, producer,
Is he really?
and screenwriter. He's
Oh yeah,
also
they
known,
worked on Alien together.
He's also known for Beverly Hills Cop 2, Days of Thunder, The Last Boy Scout, True Romance, Crimson Tide.
Wait, he directed True Romance?
Yeah.
I thought that was.
Enemy of the State,
Yeah, this
Man
is
on
so good.
Fire,
I love
Deja
Man on
Vu,
Fire.
and Unstoppable.
Fuck yeah.
This guy's got some serious movies.
He was a great director, man.
Oh, he
great.
did the remake of The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that was him too?
Oh, did he? Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Dude, this
I'm
guy
down for
he's so freaking good at what he does. He gets
What he did.
He did.
still alive in my heart, okay? What he does.
Talk him off the edge and
But nah, dude.
Let us know when you kill him off in your heart.
yeah.
You're stupid. Yeah, he had an image so well for all these movies, and it just worked out so good. I actually enjoy a lot of the movies that he's directed. It was funny. Some of it just a lot of the action, the sequences that he was taking. It was just this guy definitely had a vision when it came to movies.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's a really important thing for a director to have is like a vision of how you want it to
he had a
go.
great vision. There are some directors that don't exactly have the best vision, but this guy, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, nothing but great work. I think we can move on to writing.
The writers were Jim Cash and Jack Epps Jr. I don't know too much about these guys. As a matter of
I don't
fact.
know either.
I've never heard of them.
I've never heard of them writing any other movies that were, incredibly significant. So Jim Cash also did Anaconda.
Oh,
Anaconda.
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 This snake's out at this big.
Snake's got arms on it.
Oh, he did the Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas. Oh, that was a huge success.
Right.
Dick Tracy.
Oh, I love
Dick Tracy was great.
I love Dick Tracy.
Turner and Hooch. Are you fucking kidding me? I love that movie.
Never seen that one.
You've never seen Turner and Hooch? Have you seen
I've
K9?
never seen that one.
Oh, those are okay. So I believe Turner and Hooch came out first, and then K9 came out, I believe, like a year or the same year later. And Turner and Hooch was with Tom Hanks, and then K9 is with Jim Belushi. But it's almost the same premise. It's like a cop, and he has a dog companion that he has to solve a crime with.
Well, it looks like we know what we're going to be doing for our next episodes. Probably,
about
maybe
that,
we don't know about
we'll-
that.
we'll-
But
we'll
hey,
get to- we'll get
down
to-
the line it will show.
We'll get
up
to it. We'll
sometime.
get to it later. We'll get to it later.
Never seen it, but I want to.
We'll get to it later. So that's Jim Cash. Jack Epps did. Let's see. He also helped write for Anaconda. Let's see. Oh, it looks like they worked on a lot of stuff together.
So like we're a package deal. We made Top Gun.
He did all. He did, okay, so he wrote
Probably.
wrote all the same movies with the previous writer,
Right.
and then also some before Top Gun. He did Pigs vs. Freaks, Kojak, and Hawaii Five-O, which is a TV show.
Kojak,
Yeah,
TV show?
the TV show.
Yeah, the TV show.
Yeah.
Shit. All right.
So they basically work as a team, which shows because the work was pretty solid, right? Was there anything about the writing you guys didn't like?
No.
As
Honestly,
cheesy as it was
no.
perfect. Like, I mean, there's
Not
like
at
people.
all.
People still quote some of this shit today, like, "Oh, talk to me, Goose." You know, fucking
Talk to me, Goose. I feel the need.
need
The
for-
need for
cocaine.
speed.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, dude. I mean, as cheesy as like some of the dialogue was, it's. I don't know. Me and my friends still quote it. Still, like, you know, fucking, you're dangerous.
I am dangerous.
What are you biting at me for, bro?
Well, that's the writing. Those are the writers. You know, they're really good. But let's go on to the soundtrack.
Ooh, this is where we're gonna get really into it.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently, the original group that they wanted to do Highway to the Danger Zone was Toto.
Really?
Yeah.
Africa's Toto?
Yeah. Exactly.
That would have been, how soft of a fucking sound would that have been?
Highway to the Danger Zone.
But they scratched that and they actually went with Harold Faltermeyer.
Hold on. They actually asked REO Speedwagon after
Well,
Toto.
Yeah, but he said no.
No,
Kenny
they
Loggins wrote.
said they would prefer one of their own songs. So they wrote a track for this that never made it to that never made it onto the movie.
So
there's an REO Speedwagon song somewhere that they created just for this movie.
That's pretty badass.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
I couldn't
never
find
heard.
it. So
Well, and never heard.
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought Kenny Loggins did
Well,
the
I
song
thought they
for-
denied it, and then
Yeah.
that's why they chose Harold.
no, they didn't deny it. They wanted to make, because Highway to the Danger Zone they already wrote. Like
Yeah.
they wrote the song, but they wanted to write their own track. They wanted to be original,
Oh, gotcha.
you know.
Okay.
But it got denied.
Yeah, so it didn't work out for them. So Harold
It did
actually
not.
took
It got
over
grounded.
and made this song so iconic. I don't know anybody that probably doesn't even know this song. Like everybody knows this freaking
Yeah, like I
song.
said, I've never seen this movie and I knew the song.
Exactly.
You know, Highway to the Danger Zone.
Badass
This
fucking song,
soundtrack actually became so epic.
It's one of the most iconic soundtracks of all time.
Exactly.
Central soundtrack to the 80s.
So
dude.
what their goal was, they wanted to produce music for this movie that was going to be very iconic and was
fucking
going
last
to
forever.
Going to last. Yeah, so they inquired a bunch of people to
How long do you think your career is going to last?
Forever now.
Song for us right now.
yeah.
You're
so
gonna
they,
hear my
They
song
wanted to
time.
get musicians that were going to specifically build this soundtrack, and it would be timeless. Kind of is a lot. I mean, it's old school music, but
Yeah, but I mean, for you not having heard seen the freaking movie and you know this song.
yeah. Same with Take My Breath Away.
Dude, I was going to say Guilty
you
Pleasure.
go.
Berlin's fucking Take My Breath
Yeah,
Away. That's,
exactly.
That's my fucking favorite song
Yeah,
out
they
of the
didn't-
whole soundtrack.
They didn't even want to do that one.
What?
Yeah. The not the singer, the girl. I forgot the.
Was it Berlin, right?
Yeah, it's Berlin. But one of the bandmates didn't want to do it because it's not their type of music. You know, and then she talked them into it, and they did it. You know, and now they made a bunch of money off of that. It was basically one of their biggest hits,
It's like, yeah.
right?
That's another one of the great fucking songs.
Yeah, you
in
fucking
the
kidding me?
movie, dude. It's
That song
I
is
love
that
that
song's
song.
iconic, and it's like
Yeah.
that song will definitely stand the test of time.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
The Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack and the Top Gun freaking music is what earned this guy 2 freaking Grammys, I believe.
Yeah, the Beverly Hills Cop theme is it's one of my
It
favorites.
was such a big thing that he composed for this that it earned him such big fucking, like, everybody knows who this guy is.
Synthesizers does wonders for you guys, man. Shit.
Great. So good. So good. The
Pretty awesome.
soundtrack, even if you've never even seen this movie, I guarantee
You'll love the soundtrack.
You've heard this
Yeah.
soundtrack somewhere from somebody, and it's probably stayed with you.
And not just the original score. They bought rights to some old music too. Like when he picks up
Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah, there's Great Balls of Fire, and then there's that one classic. What's the name of the song? He picks her up in the bar with it. The karaoke.
You never close your eyes anymore.
There you go. Thanks, Fredo. That's our buddy Fredo back there.
And you're so tempted. Yeah, it gets good.
See,
Yeah, the
he's
whole
got
bar
us,
sings,
you know?
Yeah, it's good.
Our buddy Fred,
It's
he's
very
got
good.
us. Thanks, Fredo.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Fredo. There's I think there's like 4 old school oldies that are in this movie. But I mean, those are the.
I guarantee it. I guarantee it for sure, dude.
Yeah.
There's like so many.
Yeah, there was
in this freaking movie. It's
Yeah,
great.
there was another one when he was at her house, and they were listening to it together like an oldie. It's awesome, you know. It was really awesome to actually hear some of those classic songs, because those songs are actually timeless.
Yeah.
So, soundtrack, fucking beautiful.
It's
Soundtrack
really
was great.
arguably one of the greatest fucking 80s soundtracks for any movie.
I don't even know how
Yeah.
you can argue.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's one of the best.
So let's move on to the next category, which let's do action sequence.
The whole
Action
fucking movie.
sequence.
Shit.
I gotta tell you guys, there's quite a few scenes in this movie that I personally enjoy, but you've seen this movie before, David? You have, right?
Come on.
Yeah, the only one here that
I wanna
didn't
know
was me.
What your favorite action sequence of this movie was.
Volleyball sequence.
Yeah, that was a good one. Shirts off
That's,
volleyball.
that's
Shirts
actually
off
one of
all the
my.
way.
That's actually one of my favorite sequences.
Shirts off all the way.
It makes volleyball look like a kick-ass sport, and then you go and watch it, you're like, what the fuck is this?
If you're watching male volleyball that's not Top Gun,
Yeah.
you're pretty gay.
No, but the
Tell
volleyball
them to take their
sequence.
shirts off to make it look cooler.
Yeah, the volleyball sequence is definitely definitely one of my favorite sequences.
yeah.
Another one is when they're in their jets and they're playing chicken.
Oh yeah,
That's
good.
actually probably my favorite action sequence there.
When,
That's
like, the
that's
almost
so
collision
dangerous though.
That is like,
You would not believe the amount of deaths that
dude,
that has
I
actually
understand
caused.
that completely, but
It's cool. Don't get me wrong. You're playing chicken at like 2,000 miles an hour.
And you're like up in the air, so it's like hardly any other planes. It's not like you're on a fucking road where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, those are other cars.
exactly. I mean, that.
You guys
scene-
ever seen that live?
What?
No,
Planes
I've
do that?
actually never been to an air show to see that live.
I've been to a few air shows actually.
I've been on one.
Yeah, they're really fun. And that was actually always one of my favorite things, is staying to watch the Blue Angels do their.
I was too
Blue
busy looking at
Angels are pretty
P-51
badass.
Mustang and
Yeah.
B-17. I was just like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a friend that worked. Friend's mother worked in aviation. She used every year she would take us to just go check out the airplanes. It was,
I
it was
live
pretty
right
cool.
next to one of the places that they do the air shows at. We get to see them from where we live right now. And the other day they were actually testing out some of the planes, and it was actually pretty cool seeing them. Oh man, they're loud as fuck. You definitely gotta fucking bring.
Well,
your
it's a
cars
fucking
and shit.
airplane, genius.
I know, but it's like when you see it.
Hey, turn it down.
So I've never been to an air show to actually really get the whole thing or whatever, like I've never, like when you have the fucking plane go by up there, it's a little loud, but not as loud as, when the fucking jets fucking do their whole thing. So I never realized how really fucking loud they can really get, until they started, doing their whole fucking maneuvering around the house. And I'm like, fuck, these guys are
Again, it's a fucking airplane, Manny.
loud. Again, never been to an air show.
It's like hundreds of millions of dollars.
You've been to,
with
like,
American
whatever.
hardware.
Just think of you driven by the airport and then like
you hear
you've
it.
heard it. You've heard airplanes like launch and like take off. You know how loud it is.
They can get pretty
Those are
loud.
some bitch ass airplanes.
But yeah, the volleyball sequence, but the chicken sequence is by far my favorite scene in the movie. Volleyball, was that your only favorite action sequence? Or?
A lot of it was for me. I mean, I know we're gonna get into it, but like some of the dog fighting sequences when they're training and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Especially when when they actually get into it.
I think when they actually get into it at the end is probably that's the most intense because then
scrambled, because
now it's real.
Iceman's plane when it gets hit like that. It's like
it's no longer like fun. Now it just became serious.
It's a real thing.
Congratulations, you just graduated. By the way, get your fucking plane. There's Russians about. Like
But yeah, that's when it became real. But
action sequences, no. But I do want to bring up stunts.
You mean to tell me nobody was really in those planes?
Okay, I'll let you bring up the stunts because I know a little bit, but I'm sure you read into it also.
A little bit.
Tom Cruise wasn't a fighter pilot?
So, I mean, this is kind of like what kicked off Tom Cruise and actually doing a lot of like
Hanging
aviation and stuff.
Airplane.
Yeah, like now he knows how to fly a ton of airplanes, helicopters, all this kinds of stuff. But like
ride a motorcycle.
Before any of that, he didn't do. This was his first step into that. He didn't even want to do it at first. And then the production company was like, "Hey, let's get Tom Cruise. Can you get Tom Cruise into an airplane or like to a jet? Just go get him to check it out."
Right.
And so they got him into the jet, and he basically was vomiting into his vomit bag the whole time. There's vomit everywhere.
Yeah,
he had
severe motion sickness.
The second they land, he's like, "Get me to a payphone." You know, because obviously they didn't have cell phones.
You know that sound you're looking for? Listen to this.
Oh, Johnny, go. He gets to the payphone and he's like, "I'll take the part." So just that whole sequence of him just being in the airplane, he loved it. So
real quick, for those of you who don't know what payphones are,
yeah.
But actually, all the stunts, definitely done by professionals, definitely not done by them. But at the same time, some of the stunts were performed with the actors inside the cockpit or whatever it is. They took him for a run to do some of the waves, the maneuvers and upside down maneuvers to have them see what it is.
Well, apparently the upside down thing and flying for like a prolonged period of time is not at the time wasn't even a real thing and it wasn't doable.
Yeah,
I saw it in a movie though. It's real.
Yeah, that was the Navy's issue with it. They're like, we can't do this, and then the director and the producer and stuff, they're like, this is Hollywood. This is one of the big selling scenes. We need this.
Right.
So,
and 20 years later, people are going to remember them flipping off a fucking Russian. Like, we got to need that scene.
I mean, all that kind of stuff it's totally doable now with the type of aircraft that we have. Because, I mean, we're, 30 years past that bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as far as stunts go, were there any stunts or any sequences that stand out for either of you?
Oh man, dude, when fucking Maverick was taking that goddamn dive and doing the whole fucking spin like into the water or whatever, dude.
Oh, when he hit the jet stream and lost control.
Yeah. That was like, when you're watching that, it's like fucking scary, you know? It didn't exactly like freak him out. It's like if he knew better or whatever. It's about being that cocky fucking pilot that he is. And that's what this movie was about him being.
I feel that's a wrong interpretation.
I think,
not cocky, but confidence.
Confidence,
well,
but
the
having
thing was saying that he was the cocky pilot trying to be.
I know, but if you really think about it, those pilots really exist.
They train and train.
They train and they're 100% confident in their capability.
He was the rookie of the fucking thing, you know.
Just because you're a rookie doesn't mean that you don't know what you're playing.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm saying like
his skill.
It was still fucking scary.
This is definitely a skill for everyone to learn to do and like use and utilize like throughout their daily lives. It's like no matter how bad things get, you need to remain calm and like keep your composure. More importantly than anything, like no matter how bad you can find yourself in a car wreck, whatever, just you're still alive. Okay, what do I do now? What's the next step? Like just. You know. Yeah,
I mean, also on top of that, his skill clearly showed through. Even though he definitely was dangerous. You know, as Iceman kept saying, he's like, "You're dangerous, you're unsafe." But he definitely was skilled. The only reason Iceman was way more successful is because he played it by the book, and he played everything by the book. So he found success in that. As where Maverick
was fucking pissed.
Maverick was a risk taker, and also he was confident in his ability. He was confident in his ability to fly that aircraft.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, that was definitely one of them.
Yeah, I just want to give a toast. And it seems like I might be the only one with alcohol still. To Art Scholl, the stuntman who lost his life in this movie.
Yeah.
He was doing. Let me take a sip first. He was taking He was up flying, taking shots for Goose's and Maverick's crash sequence.
And he crashed himself.
And he had a spotter on the ground, and the spotter was like, "All right, we have enough. We're good for. Let's call it quits a day." He's like, "Let me get one more." And then when that happened, he just started losing altitude, and at like 3,000 feet or like 4,000 feet, he was like, "I'm losing control." And the 2,500 is like, "I'm not getting any better." And then
he just slammed into the ground.
And then
holy shit, I never knew that, dude.
In the ocean.
Oh, that's right.
In the ocean, and they actually
in the ocean as well.
And they actually never recovered his body.
He's still alive. He's fine.
Yeah. I mean, sure.
But that guy is responsible for a lot of the fucking action scenes in this fucking movie.
Yeah, that's why I thought we should at least bring it up and mention him, and we'll have like a little.
Yeah, I don't even think the movie even had like a little dedication to him, did it?
I did not see one.
I didn't see one. So at the end of the credits or anything like that.
Fuck you, Top Gun.
We weren't looking for it.
Well, so I'm gonna go. Yeah,
I definitely. If I didn't do any other research at all, I wouldn't even know that guy had passed.
Yeah, exactly. So why don't we move on to the next thing, which is framework.
We're talking about fucking planes that are going like hundreds of miles an hour, dude. I'm really glad the camera was somewhat steady to keep it in fucking frame. So yeah, framework. Next.
There's yeah, well, I mean, it's also the 80s, right? So there's not a lot of shots there. There's one, like I said in the beginning, had one of my favorite sequences because it had an actual. I think they mounted a camera to the wing of one of the aircraft, and you get like a quick flight over, and you see the wing of the aircraft, and also the what's it called again? The aircraft carrier.
Right.
And then we get the sunset or the sunrise, in the morning. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful shot, right? Because everything's moving quickly, and we get the whole sequence all in one nice motion. You get the sunrise. It's framed up really well. And it's probably the best one in the opening sequences because the rest of it, it's just like camera, jet flying by, highway. And it's just
one of the things that I actually enjoy, it's actually a multiple of things going on because it's camera cut here, but is when they start getting into their gear and starting to take off. So you see the guy and the lineman, signaling for the pilots coming into the freaking.
There's a specific term, runway, but it's like a specific term for when they're taxiing the plane, I think, right?
I believe
something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The guys with the markers.
Yeah. But like they're like a specific spot for where the plane.
Specific spot for them and everything like that. But there's a whole sequence of them where they're going into getting ready to take off. You got Maverick, you got freaking Wolf, everybody coming into their planes. Hitting helmets, good luck, this and that, and everything like that. And they're getting ready. All you hear is the music in the background. You see the guys with the markers getting ready for them to take off. Oh, thanks, David. Oh, yeah. Definitely take a cherry, baby.
Dude, the thing is absorbing alcohol like crazy. Yeah, you want to eat the cherry.
Whoa.
Have you never eaten the fruit that's been sitting in alcohol before? Oh,
no.
It's the best.
Best. Gummy bears especially.
But the thing is, the whole sequence of them going into their pilots and getting ready to take off, especially with the people in the background getting ready for them to take off, and then you see the ship and everything, the whole freaking thing of the ship, and them fucking taking off from point A, and they just, that whole fucking ordeal, that whole the scene or whatever, it's just. It looks so fucking amazing to me. It was fucking great.
That's good. That's the whole thing. Is they're trying to captivate you.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It's good that they achieved what they were trying to do.
Awesome. Yeah. The way they're speaking and everything like that. The entire fucking scene like that. I enjoyed that. That was probably my favorite scene.
Okay. David, anything you want to add to that, or you good?
I'm good. I mean, because what framework really is there? I mean, honestly, again, one of Not gonna lie,
Tom Cruise on his motorcycle driving down the beach.
That's cool, but the segs scene.
Oh, the sex
where it's like the silhouettes.
Yeah,
it's like mainly the
Take my
backlit.
breath away.
Yeah, that whole sequence, dude. When it's just like, I like that scene a lot. I like sex.
We fucking.
Yeah, we fucking, but in a romantic way.
Yes, to Meg Ryan and everything.
Performance. Obviously, we don't even really need to go over Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer. Like everybody was still solid. I think
you
one
don't have to go over a lot of people because if you take a look at this movie, the performance out of everybody, I think was pretty spot on. What it is that what they were doing.
I think
the arguments.
But I think the one performance we should talk about is Kelly Mcgillis. She actually took this role thinking that this movie was not going to be the big blockbuster hit that it was. She took this role thinking that it's going to get a little bit of views and whatnot, and then she's not going to have to she's not going to be forced into taking multiple roles later. Because she said if she knew it was going to be a big blockbuster hit, she wouldn't have taken this role.
What?
She didn't like the pressure.
She I don't want to be successful
from other actors and just people in general, fans.
She just wanted a low budget freaking.
I think she just wanted to be in a film, and then it didn't need to be a big hit.
Well, surprise!
Which is actually kind of a weird thing to hear from an actor. I feel like that's kind of the opposite of what most actors are looking for.
Stamp on something,
right? Exactly. Right. I feel like that's what they're doing.
You want to get your name out. You want to see how your performance was in a movie. That way,
keep
you
doing
get
better
roles and get better
performances. I think more they really want is
you want to make a stamp.
You want to get better performances.
You definitely want to make a stamp. You want to be known for something great. And you know what? This movie was known.
Yeah. So I think if she would have known, maybe going into this movie, a month later, that it was going to be a big blockbuster film, we probably would have saw a different performance out of her. But we got a very natural, real feel from her.
We did. I liked her character.
Yeah, her character was great.
Yeah. No, I can't imagine anybody else trying to fill her role. I feel like she would definitely outperform anybody that would try to take the role. But that's just an opinion.
That's definitely just an opinion because during the 80s there was a lot of female blonde actors at that time.
Yeah,
that had a higher caliber.
They did, yeah, for sure.
Again, I think for what it was, she knocked it out of the park.
Yeah,
because no one really saw it coming. No one saw her performance being such a knockout. They knew she was good, but her performance was fucking. She killed it.
Yeah, she did. She did wonderful. I mean, there's needless to say, Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer, and everybody else, they filled their roles, I think, perfectly to what this movie was expected to be. And again, I can't see anybody else other than them in this movie. I've seen this movie so many times, and I can't off the top of my head think about anybody in the 80s who else would fill their roles.
Okay, so let's say you have your pick then of not just actors from the 80s, even now. Who would you cast as Maverick and Goose? And then also as Iceman and Slider?
That's a tough question.
The two main teams. Who would you cast?
I'm sorry, but Maverick still has, for me, it has
also,
to be Tom Cruise.
We're just doing, this is all,
I'm sorry.
This is all theoretical and fun. Okay.
Yeah, so you can take, no, for sure.
You can take any approach you want. Any approach. It can be action. It could be comedy, sci-fi, actors from any genre. Throw them in.
Oh, that is so hard.
Okay, James Franco as Maverick and Seth Rogen as Goose. Wait, where are we going? We're going on an airplane?
Oh, man. Oh, damn.
Barfreak, leave me alone.
That's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good.
No, I can only see Tom Cruise as Maverick.
I think I would probably for the opposing team, David. I would go back to 80s and I would do Iceman as Chevy Chase as Iceman, and then Dan Aykroyd as Slider.
That'd be a good one.
Who was the main guy in Phantom? The movie Phantom.
The superhero movie?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Billy Zane?
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane as Maverick. Sorry, not Maverick. Billy Zane as Iceman.
He would make a
that. He would
great
be
fucking
great.
Iceman.
Zane
Holy
as
shit.
Iceman.
He would actually be really good as Iceman.
I think Billy Zane would actually be really good as Iceman. Because now
Who-
that you mentioned it, I'm just like, well, you know what? I remember
I mean,
Billy Zane.
who would be his Rio? Who would be his co-pilot?
Oh, Rio. If I had to take somebody to be Rio, I would do. Oh, what the hell? Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't remember his fucking name. In Corky Romano, his brother, the blonde one. Do you remember Corky Romano?
Yeah,
Okay. You remember
the fatter guy.
The fatter
right?
guy is the gay brother.
Yeah.
The skinnier one, the one that can't read.
Oh, let me get a cup of the pistachio there. I know
what's
exactly.
his name?
I don't know his name.
I don't remember.
But
I don't know his name. I know who you're talking about, though.
But that's who I would do as Rio.
Wait,
Really?
You know who
I
I
would
would
think
do?
so. For me, I think he would do a great Rio.
If they do a remake of fucking Top Gun, I think Michael B. Jordan would be a great Maverick.
Of course, I'd be down for that.
I think he would
Michael
make a
B. Jordan
great
as
fucking
Maverick?
Maverick, dude.
That'd be good. That'd be really good.
He would make a great Maverick, yeah.
Who would be his co-pilot? His Goose.
Shit, dude, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think about that right now.
Co-pilot for Michael B. Jordan? Tom Cruise?
The Ghost of Goose.
The Ghost of Goose.
The ghost of Goose.
Top Gun 3. Goose's Ghost.
It's like Star Fox, but Goose.
All right, boys.
All right.
Cheers. I stirred
Cheers,
this
cheers,
one, so
cheers.
this one's going to be a little
Cheers.
different in taste, but
A
let's
little bit
try it out.
different?
It still looks
Looks a little
great.
bit more purple, yeah.
It definitely looks more purple.
Oh, this one better.
I like
this
this
one's way
one
better.
more. Yeah,
That one tastes
like
like
it.
lemonade.
That one's way better.
that's really
Very
good.
nice.
There's a difference when you stir and shake.
There's a huge difference. Like, definitely don't ever stir or don't ever shake a dirty martini, or you will hate yourself.
Or you're fucking James Bond asking for shaking up martinis. Like, what the fuck you doing, Bond?
But as far
There's
as
actually a theory on that. So a theory on why James Bond would take his drinks shaken, not stirred, is because he was a spy who would always sit at the bar and just keep ordering drinks. But no one knows he's a spy, but he can't sit there and get plastered all day. So he would order martinis shaken, knowing that the ice would water down his drinks because he can't fight criminals, like completely fucked up.
yeah.
So it's a theory. And I was like, that kind of makes sense, actually. Like, why would you shake? For one, why would you shake a martini? But that was his catchphrase. His catchphrase was like, shaken, not stirred.
Yeah. Sure.
You had to choose the Sean Connery voice?
Well, who else is
Yes.
James Bond? Clive Owen is James Bond in my heart. We miss you. Well, we want you to be James
50 no's and a yes mean yes.
But
Bond. My old Alamein. May my armies
as,
be the rocks and the
as
trees.
far as who you would say to be the pilots from today, that's definitely a hard question for me.
That's fun, though.
oh
Budget.
boy.
All right, now time to guess. Let's see. Okay,
So
1980s.
what was the budget for this movie, fellas?
Okay, so I want to say.
Take into consideration everything that's going on in this
Yeah,
movie.
they're flying. Okay.
Using
everything,
fucking
the
U.S.
cast-
government.
All right, check
hardware.
that. All right, here's a little bit of information that might actually help you decide the amount of money that it costs
For one of those planes.
for the aircraft.
Yeah.
For I think it was 10 minutes, because they wanted a shot, the sunrise shot. They had to turn the aircraft carrier around, but the guy was like, "No, we're not doing that. We have a plan, to take."
I got to go sit.
And so the producer was like, "I'll go get my fucking checkbook, right? And how much does it cost?" He wrote them a $25,000 check.
just to turn the shit.
That's how much it fucking
around.
cost in the 80s. I think it was anywhere from I want to say 0 to 30 minutes was the allowance for that, but that's still a lot of money. So
is
just take that into
definitely a lot of money.
consideration.
But then
'Cause we're
take into
dealing-
consideration that a lot of those shots, some of those, actually a good few of those shots were actually digital, which
What?
I don't think they're digital, but I think they edited them in post.
they were digital. As a matter of fact, there was actually a comment in here that
I
some of
do
them-
not believe anything you're saying there at all.
Okay, all right. If you don't believe it, it's cool.
What year did fucking Tron come out?
Tron came out 83.
Okay. I really don't think there's digital work being played here.
That's something we could figure out with a simple
can
IND
look at it.
research.
We can look at it.
I'm
I
looking.
really don't think so because when Tron came out, that was-
82.
okay, when Tron came out, that was obviously a mostly digital film, and the Academy Award didn't even recognize it as a fucking
Yeah, because that wasn't even a real category then.
They considered it fucking cheating to be using digital back then.
They didn't consider. Well, it wasn't a real category.
They gave an honorary award for that movie. Yeah.
Okay. So I read somewhere some of the
I don't
stuff
think
was
so.
actually
They didn't
digital
have the capability to entirely make a digital airplane at that time frame.
Dude. It would have looked so fucking.
It would have looked
Everything
incredibly
looked so
bad.
fucking real in this movie, dude.
Yeah, I believe those were all
Stunt work or miniatures.
Yeah. Fuck, I forgot what
Maybe,
they call that. Like B-roll type shots. Like
Yeah.
I probably should go back and read some more of this shit, but I was reading it and it said there was some but anyways, we're going back to the budget here.
Yeah, let's go back to the
'Cause
budget.
we're going way off topic. Budget, boys. What do you guys think the budget was
Okay,
for this
1986, about planes. They had to rent the aircraft carrier. I want to say the budget was at least 23 million.
That's
Okay.
it.
That's it. It's also the 80s. 23 million's a lot then.
I was gonna hit.
That's
like
probably-
$100 million.
I think that was probably the equivalent of like maybe like 55K or 55 mil at that time.
So what's your actual
I'm still going with
With what do you
23?
yeah 20.
23.
I'm
David?
going. I got to go 100 million, considering.
I just don't think it's
everything
that high.
I don't know. Everything that's in this fucking movie, dude.
I know what you mean.
a lot of
I just
hardware.
don't think it's
All
that
right,
high.
you guys ready?
Ready?
George, you're actually the closest. It's actually 15 million.
Shut the fuck up. Really?
Yeah,
The budget for that movie?
The budget for the movie was actually $15 million.
What did the government grant them a fucking like little?
Okay, so I know for a fact that Tom Cruise was shooting and flying for 10 months. So it is a long time technically, but he wasn't only on the aircraft carrier at that time. They only used the aircraft carrier when they shot for the aircraft carrier.
Yeah.
So because that's what ate a huge portion of the budget, not just like flying the jets and whatnot, because they could do that off base or off the carrier, you know? So I think that's why I was like, it has to be lower. The aircraft carrier ate up a bunch of stuff, you know, a bunch of their budget for sure. I mean, even Tom Cruise alone, he's $1 million performer. I think they paid him like over a little over $1 million, just him specifically. That's the reason. One of the whole reasons they also wanted him to get naked. They're like, we're paying money for Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
We want you to get Top Gun.
Definitely
right?
wanted that.
He
butt
needs to give
shot
that
and
top
everything.
dick.
So,
You want that top dollar? You want that top dollar? Top Gun?
so 15
Get
million
naked.
was the budget. Now, box office, boys.
Well, you guys were saying it in the beginning of the show, how the critics were like, that movie kind of sucks.
The critics.
Okay,
critics
so-
was one of the things. But
No, because it wasn't received well in their pre-screening.
Right.
But that's mainly because
People are
Art
fucking
Scholl
retarded.
died.
Oh.
And then during the pre-screen was the same day the Challenger went down. Literally the same day. When they did the pre-screening,
Really?
same day Challenger went down. So when
But at the same time, though, you have to
That's
understand that
interesting.
when it came out in theaters, some of these critics had to review this movie and then make a different opinion. Whatever their opinion was before, when they didn't like it, they definitely changed it afterwards when other people started seeing how.
well, yeah, that's usually how movie
That's
reviews
how
work.
manipulation
Yeah.
works.
I want to say this movie probably did 48 mil.
48 million.
Yeah,
Okay.
just a little over double, almost
David?
triple.
So the budget
Actually,
was
it's more than
15 mil?
Triple.
Budget was
15 mil.
million.
I'm going to go, let's go 90 million.
Holy fuck, David's aiming for the moon.
I'm going
To the moon,
Top
Alice!
Gun, baby.
90 million.
Are you serious?
That's a definitely good guess.
Oh, you motherfucker. You know what? Fuck you. You're cut off.
Definitely a good guess. You guys wouldn't even believe what this fucking movie made.
It better be
Will you
high.
fucking tell us?
$357 million.
Holy fucking shit, dude.
Hold on. No fucking way.
Wait, that's got to be domestic, right?
That has to be global. There's no fucking way.
It's global, I believe.
Yeah,
global,
that has to
okay.
be global. I wonder if they're including. No, it just says box office.
So that was during its box office
Okay,
run?
I want to know how accurate that is because
That
Well,
sounds
here,
like
I
way
think-
too much.
Okay, so 50 million does make sense for 86.
Yeah.
357 million in 86. Do you have any idea the number? That's
That's
would
close
literally
to $1 billion.
that'd literally be the highest grossing movie of all time. How come we didn't hear about that?
Yeah.
I think here they inflated the numbers, you know, for
I also
modern day
looked at-
inflation.
I looked
I do
into
not
it also.
appreciate that.
also looked into it, and they're taking everything into account because they actually. So this movie came out only with maybe like 15 to 20 theaters at the time. This movie came out.
So there's no way it could make that much money then.
After this movie was released with 15 to 20 theaters, it got so high that they released it in 45 other theaters.
Okay, I get that, but that isn't. There's no way you can make even.
And then after they released it there, they went global with it, and that's why it predicted to make $357 million.
So is that?
I don't think that's accurate though.
Did it just have that like an opening?
Are they including rescreenings? Because I think they added it again in like early 2000s. I remember seeing, because remember they were doing that with a bunch of old school movies. They did it with like E.T. and stuff, re-releases. Yeah. Like Star Wars did it too. Like those very popular pop culture movies. I believe they did that with inflation. There's no way that Top Gun made $357 million in 1986. There's just no way.
I kind of find that hard to believe, dude.
I find that incredibly hard to believe.
Yeah, quick percent, highest grossing film of 1986.
No, that would be the highest grossing film
it would be the
of all
6 months
time.
before in theaters count dropped below that of its opening week.
When we're talking about the highest grossing film, though, they take the budget into account.
Yeah.
Okay, so just imagine a $15 million budget, and you made $357 million.
Well, that's probably, yeah, okay. So that's probably the gross in global. So if I were to do this.
But that's what I want to know is that are they counting inflation? They just make that
they
number
might be
bigger.
Counting inflation.
See, that I believe is unfair because they gave us an actual number, 15 million.
Okay. So they're counting the inflation. Before the inflation, and I just found this right now.
Probably closer to 100 mil.
So that would be domestic, right?
Either global or domestic, I think.
176 million.
Global?
No, worldwide.
Global.
That's what global means.
So I'm sorry, domestic.
Nope. World. What?
So
you know words, Manny?
Yes, I do. Give me a second here, because I'm trying to look this up on the fly at the moment.
He's like, guess which it is? It's domestic. So that's domestic. Nope. Global.
What? Sorry, I'm trying to do this on the fly. These drinks are a little strong.
They're literally not that strong.
They're great. Yeah,
take your time.
About 200 mil.
Okay.
I still don't. That's a lot for 1986. I still think that's way too much for 1986. Off of 15 mil, we would have heard of something about that.
Yeah.
People, they would be comparing modern day movies to Top Gun, just because the amount of gross there.
A different movie of it, like almost.
It doesn't matter the category. All that matters is the amount of money it made. So it's like just think about it, like you made a movie with like $5, but you made $100K
in profit. Yeah,
in profit. I mean, like people will be talking about that all the time.
There we go. All right. So they keep adding the fucking gross till fucking today, but opening week.
There we go.
Okay.
Opening week.
Right.
Was a little over $8 million.
That sounds like a domestic number.
That's definitely domestic.
So opening week.
And that's also because you said there was restricted viewing. That makes way more sense.
If it was a $15 million budget and $8 million brought in, yeah, okay.
And then they opened up 45 more theaters for this fucking movie.
And then
that makes sense. $8 million.
So they averaged out after that to about 77 million.
That's way more reasonable.
It's
way more believable.
Doubling or tripling your profits. That's
77 million.
That's good.
That's like 6 times the profit.
So
yeah.
Sorry guys, they keep adding to the gross of this fucking movie, and I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? But about 77.
Okay,
that's 77.
Still 77.
And I called it what, 90 mil?
You called 90.
Fuck you guys.
You did call 90, but 77.
Hey, you're lucky I had him check because it was 357's way too fucking high. Yeah. Sorry.
I kept checking because I didn't want to fuck up more and more, and I'm just like trying to fucking figure everything out.
But somehow you did, and you managed to do it while we're recording.
Anyway, 77 million, but overall the movie still fucking holds up till today, which is still fucking growing money for this.
So your incompetence.
My incompetence. Boy, But 77 million.
It's all good. Okay, that makes way more sense. I'm glad we kind of figured that out.
Some of these times, when I'm trying to look up the budget for some of these movies, they don't.
It's hard. It's hard to find, especially since they're so old. Like
some of the older movies are just
86. I mean, that's So I mean, it's more than 30 years. It's gonna be hard to find information. You know.
Yeah, I was trying to fucking look and try.
That's why you have to. And also you have to find a credible website. Like definitely Wikipedia. I know you use Wikipedia a lot, but the only problem with Wikipedia is anyone can go on there and edit
Wikipedia
stuff.
A lot. I try to use MDB and some other sites and everything like that.
Yeah.
But the movie is actually still grossing because the last thing that they saw for this movie
So are they grossing off of like actual like streaming sales, DVD sales, Blu-ray sales?
Well, last year they actually put this movie.
It's anytime he looks at a plane.
Last year they actually put this movie out on IMAX 3D.
Really? I didn't know that.
Theaters. Yeah.
Oh, I would have went to saw it then. That's awesome. I love IMAX.
Last year they did that. Yeah.
That would have been great.
They actually put it on IMAX 3D, and apparently people liked it so much.
I think we should.
They fucking and it just keeps growing.
Well, part of the reason we're doing this movie is because the new Top Gun is coming out soon.
Top Gun is
so I think what we should do is when that movie comes out, we'll go see it in IMAX or however you guys want to see it, and then we'll review it the same week. That's good stuff. All right, so yeah, the budget, 15 mil, and then box office 77 mil.
Yep.
I'm good with that. Those are good numbers. So I think we can move on to our last category, the outro. So the last 10 minutes of the movie are basically Maverick shows up for his graduation. Everyone's there. He makes his his rounds. He talks to all of his other classmates, and Goose is at this point in time gone. Everyone's giving his condolence high five. And so at this point in time, everyone gets their stuff. Iceman gets his, best in class certificate, because he's the motherfucking Iceman.
Yep.
And then they're like, get ready, guys. You're being dispatched immediately, So right from graduation, they're being dispatched because there is a situation. They didn't specify who the situation was with. We just have a situation that requires the Top Gun aircraft.
Yeah.
So just like in the beginning of the movie, they get back onto the aircraft carrier. We get stuck with the Captain Slacker himself, and now they have to fight multiple MiG-28s. I think there was like 7 of them. There's like 7 or 8 of them, because at one point in time, Iceman is surrounded by 5. Yeah, they broke off, and so Maverick is still a little bit shaken up after the loss of Goose. So they his wingman, or not his wingman, his co-pilot his Rio is Merlin from earlier in the movie, and he's Maverick is Iceman's wingman, so he's following him, and Iceman's doing everything as well as he can, as by the book, but also trying to protect his wingman. But he does a couple things, and I was like, it's a little bit of a dick move, like kind of cuts him off and whatnot. But Maverick kind of lets go of Iceman to basically do the move he did earlier in the movie, where he did the break past his bogey and then fucking shoot him with the missile. So he takes out the bogeys one by one, saves Iceman, and then we come to the closing sequence where Iceman and Maverick are talking, and they finally reconcile. Iceman's like, bullshit, you can be mine. And then high five. I don't think there was a freeze frame, but that would have been awesome. I think that would have been perfect. And that's basic. Well, not basically the end. We get a little bit of Maverick at the bar, and he's not really drinking. He's just he's still kind of down. And then we see a hand on the jukebox, and we see it slide over, pick a song, drop a coin in, and then go away. It looks like a woman's hand, right? Or it's Manny's. I don't know.
Okay.
And then we get the opening sequence song that was playing at the first bar, you know?
Yeah.
And then Maverick looks, and there's nobody at the jukebox, and he gets up and he walks over there, and he's just kind of like dumbfounded. He's like, who the fuck put this on? You know? And then he turns around, and then that's when, what's her name? Kelly Mcgillis.
Oh,
Charlie.
Charlie.
That's when Charlie's standing there. And then they reunite, and then basically all is forgiven, and then take her breath away.
Yeah.
And that's the end sequence there. I wish I could have given it to you in a little bit more description, but I mean, he's definitely giving it to her.
Yeah.
Riveted for her pleasure.
And that is Top Gun. Great movie. Definitely.
This is an all-time classic.
All-time classic.
All-time
movie.
classic.
Definitely got to watch. It's super good. I
all-time
enjoyed it
classic.
so much.
So I think we should just jump right into our rating. And since this was a movie that you picked, Manny, and it's very, near and dear to your heart, how would you rate this movie?
Oh man. It's definitely close to my heart. I have a lot of good times with this movie, and it's a really fucking good movie. So I had to actually give this a 5. Michael B. Jordan's.
I like it.
For the remake, if they're gonna be a remake, I'm telling you. Mr. Michael B. Jordan.
A remake would be cool, but I feel like at this point in time, we don't technically need a remake.
But I will do a 5-star Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, it's too close to the sequel. Yeah. Five Michael B. Jordans, huh?
Yeah, 5 Michael B. Jordans.
Okay. I'm okay with that. This movie was great start to finish. I loved everything about this film. Tom Cruise, always an excellent actor. His performance is always on top. Val Kilmer, he's always near and dear to my heart, so it was great to see him. Meg Ryan, are you fucking kidding me? Awesome. I mean, we're good. I didn't even know Tim Robbins was in this movie until I read it, and I was like, oh, he was fucking Merlin. Goose's performance, that was fucking great. He was a great wingman. He was on point. So yeah, I'm good with all that. Good with all those Michael B. Jordan heads. So 5 out of 5. I think we're good. I think we're good there. And with that being said, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, and if there's any movies you guys want us to take a look at, please put it in the comment section and let us know what we can do to improve this.
Yeah, please comment. That really helps the algorithm.
And where can they find us, George?
At the moment, we don't really have any social media. I know I've been lagging on that. It's coming. I'm sorry, it's coming. But you can email us at nyec.gse@gmail.com. You can hit us up with some movie suggestions, or you could just shoot the shit and be like, hey, man, he's a homo.
What a dick.
Other than that, happy movie going. Cheers.
Cheers.
You cheers me with a monster?
Dude, I've been